guys! I want to talk to you about some tips and tricks on how to prep for a swivel competition. These are some things that I've learned through the years and also some things that I learned from some of the instructors over at Think Tank. First, I'm going to talk to you about your theme. How do you get your theme? How do you think of a theme? How to put your theme together. What helps me the most is finding something that I can actually connect or relate to. This includes like your favorite movie or your favorite song or just something that's going on in your life at the moment that you can connect with and become a true character in that routine. Something that you can't, that's just like doable, or like something that a friend or your mother or whoever was like, hey, this seems like a good idea, you should try it, it seems like it would work. But it's not something that you're super into, you're just not going to be able to really connect with that character as much. Just because it's something that is just something that you don't feel relatable to. A theme that you can relate to and you have a lot of like emotion to it, you're going to be putting more energy into it than you would for something that you're just not emotionally attached to. Putting your pass sheet together. First things first, to download it and everything off the usawaterski.org website. If you have a PC, then it's usually pretty easy. I've had a PC and I download it and the drop-down menus, everything works. For my Mac, it doesn't. The drop-down menus for the levels work, but for the actual tricks, it doesn't. So what works for me is when I download it, do the drop-down menus for all the levels of the tricks that I'm going to do, but then I just add a text box. And then I just make sure that I have my trick sheet and write down exactly what the trick is off the trick sheet. You don't want to just make up your own words on it because then the judges aren't going to know exactly what you're doing. Next, when you're putting everything on your pass sheet, you need to make sure you put everything that you're doing on it. Just down to the smallest trick that you're doing, put it on it. Because it's going to be easier for the judges to average out that pass for you. If you're only putting like your 2 top tricks in it because you don't necessarily know what you're going to do, you may not get the score that you possibly could get for that because they're kind of guesstimating on what the skill level of the other tricks you've done. Yes, judges should know exactly what every skill level is, but have you seen the trick sheets? There's a lot of tricks on there. It is very hard to learn every single skill level for each trick. So if you put every single trick on your sheet, then they can see the skill level for each of those and average out your pass better. Next, I'm going to talk to you about, let's see what's on my list. Next is how you scored. Each pass is average. So you're not being scored on every trick you do, you're being scored on the average skill level of the pass that you did. So if you have a level, a 3, a 5, a 7, and a 4 trick in your pass, you can score as high as a level 7, because you can only score as high as your highest trick in each pass. So if your 7 is the highest trick you did, then the highest score you can get for that pass is a 7. Then, you know, if you bobble or you kind of have a bent leg or you just, the technique in that 7 trick wasn't to its standard, then you might not get a full 7 for that pass. You might get a 5, 6-ish, depending on how well you did that pass. At the end, when you're in your competition and the judges have all of your passes all averaged out, you're going to get a technical and artistic scores from each judge. So let's say there's 5 judges. You're going to have 5 technical scores and you're going to have 5 artistic scores. What they're going to do is out of your technical scores, they're going to throw away the highest and the lowest, and out of your artistic, they're going to throw away the highest and your lowest, and then average it out from there. And that's how you'll get your score. You'll get a final technical score and a final artistic score. Those will be added together and then averaged out. And then that will be your total, your final score. And then if you have any falls or penalties, they are going to subtract that from your final score. One of the penalties that you could possibly get is tight line, the rule 2.09, I believe. And that is if the final horn blows and you are still skiing. Best thing to do is let go before that final horn blows, or if you know that final horn is coming because you got the 30-second horn, just get back to the dock. Don't keep trying anything, just get back to stage and land so that you don't risk getting a 5% penalty. When it comes to artistic versus technical, the biggest question, what's better? What's better is to do both. You shouldn't pick, oh, I just want to do tricks, or I'm just going to be pretty. You should strive for both, because both is going to put you over the top over the next person. If you're doing a 7, for instance, if you do a 7 and you're just whipping it around and you have a bent knee, but you make it, you'll get credit for making it, but you're probably not going to get a full 7 for doing that 7. You might get a 6 or something because your form and your technique wasn't correct to the standard. Your artistic then will be lower because of your bent leg and the whipping it around. So if you have a straight leg, your form is right, your arms and handle placement is correct, you're doing it more to the standard of that trick and you're most likely to get the full points for it. Technical versus artistic. Artistic is more based off of your theming or in your costuming, your crowd appeal, the creativity in your routine, how you interact with the crowd, and the beauty of what you do on the water. Your technical is basically your tricks, what tricks you do, and if you're doing the technique and form of it correctly. Your artistic is also, though, a reflection of your technical. There is also like artistic in your technical, as in like your straight legs and pointed toes and correct form. That also has a little bit of artistic involved with it. Mainly your artistic will be your costuming and all that stuff. The biggest thing that's going to help your artistic score is keeping your theme throughout your entire routine. So if you're doing a hip-hoppy, dancey kind of upbeat routine, keep that throughout your whole thing. So if you have a fast song, you don't want to ski slow and have these slow, graceful arms that doesn't match the beat of your song. If your song is upbeat, you want to have upbeat movements. For example, a punk rock theme. You're all rockered out, whatever. In the corners, like do some punk rock sign. You know, keep the theme alive throughout your entire routine because you are putting on a show, and you want to make sure that storyline follows through all the way from the start, your first horn, to your ending horn. With your costumes, like bright colors always pop better on the water. Your judges are going to, their eyes are gonna like draw to you if you have brighter colors. I have a bad habit of wearing black. I do, and I know it doesn't pop well in the water, but I still do it anyway. I don't know why, but black doesn't pop well. You got reds, purples, blues, all of those. Like compared to the dark water, that's gonna bring you out even more, and it's gonna make the judges want to watch you more. That goes along also with your crowd interaction and crowd appeal. If the crowd is like really into your routine, that's gonna help your score as well. That means the judges are like seeing that you are interacting with the crowd, you're performing for the crowd, you're not just doing the movements. Big smiles. You want to always be smiling. The cheesiest grin that you possibly can have, because that's what show skiing is about. Smile, smiles, and waves, right? For your pay-ons and payoffs, you want to make sure, for one, like I said, you're keeping with your theme. So your pay-on and your payoff wants to have the same texture and the same style. If you are doing a pay-on that is just a dock dance, that's what I'm into. I just do dock dances. I'm not into the whole like putting on a huge propped theme mini theater show on the dock. I like to just get on the water. I'm not big on acting and stuff like that, but it works for some people and it doesn't work for others. I would suggest, if you're someone who is doing like 4 passes, doing only a 30-second pay-on so that you give yourself time on the water. Give yourself that extra time for in case of any mishaps. If you're someone who's only doing like 2 or 3 passes, you can take a little longer on your dock dance or dock stage, whatever you want to do, because then that's going to bump up your artistic a little more because you're going to keep that show alive if you don't have as many tricks to put out on the water. If you are doing a dock dance or a dock pay-on where you have other people involved, you want to make sure you're the first thing that the judges see. If you're hiding behind all the other people, that's not going to help you because at first the judges aren't going to know who is it that they're looking for, who is it that they're supposed to be judging. So if you're kind of hiding behind, and I'm not saying like behind, I'm saying just like having a group of people and you're just kind of intermingling with them and not being the one that is the star of the show. You want to be the star of the show because you are. So make sure if you have a pay-on where you have other people or other things involved that you are the first thing that the judges see. Some things that helps me for the upcoming time before a tournament, as in like the week 4, 2 weeks, whatever, don't change your daily routine. Keep doing the same thing that you normally do every day. Because initially a swivel competition is just another ski set that you're taking. Anytime you practice, you're trying your best, right? Every time you get out in the water, you want to strive to be the best that you can be. Same thing as what the competition is, you're just with some more flair. Or coming up to a swivel competition and you're practicing extra hard, like more than usual, where you're tiring yourself out. By the time that you get to the swivel competition, your body's exhausted. You know, you can either be sore or just your mind's not into it, just exhausted because you've overdone it beforehand. But make sure you just kind of keep the same daily routine before so that your body is just used to doing the same thing and used to the same amount of skiing. For me, I know a lot of swivel competitions are early in the morning, 7, 8 a.m., which is much earlier than the times I usually ski during the day. I usually ski around 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So for me to ski at 7 a.m., my body is just in shock. Like, why are we doing this right now? I should be in bed. So what helps me a lot is I wake up really early for swivel competition. So if the competition's at 8 a.m., I'm waking up at like 4 a.m. because then that gets my body awake and going and moving. So I'll wake up at like 4 a.m., sit down in front of my mirror, do some of my makeup, do my hair, and drink my coffee, because that's first. Then I like to do just a small workout in the morning, just to kind of get the blood flow and your muscles warmed up, so that you're not all tight and like just achy for the actual competition. By the time I get on the water, it's like as if I tricked my body into thinking that it's 1 p.m. So that's something that's worked best for me. I'm someone who doesn't like to watch my competitors. It makes me more nervous. So I usually will sit back and put my headphones in and stretch and make sure I know my payon and what I'm going to be doing, and make sure I run my passes through my head so that I don't forget something. That's also when I kind of do my little workout and warm my muscles up as well. How to relax the nerves? That's a tough one, because nerves are going to happen. It's a thing. We all are going to get nervous because we all feel like we have something to prove. We all want to show our best selves and show that what the things we've been learning and the new tricks that we've done and how much we've progressed. We all want to, and that's what makes us so nervous. I am one of those people that I want to vomit before a swivel competition. I get so nervous that I am like dreading it. The moment it comes, I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I here? I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this to myself? I'm torturing myself. But then when I'm done, I'm excited. I'm like, wow, I did it. Cool. I got that over with, and it was fun. I skied. You know, and that's all that matters, is that you skied. That's what you're there for. You love skiing. We're all so supportive of each other. You fall down 3 times. I've been there. Trust me. It hurt me right in the heart. But you get up and you do it again. Everyone around you is so supportive. All of the swivel community is super, super supportive, and we've all been there. We know that swivel skiing is moody. Swivel skiing is as moody as the girls who ride them. We all know that there's bad days and there's good days, and sometimes it sucks and a bad day is on swivel competition day. And you just gotta know that it's fine, I'll get back up, and the next one I've got it. Relaxing the nerves is just something that you have to learn to adapt with and to deal with, and you have to accept that you're nervous, and accept that you are just in this state of mind, and you have to take a step back and be like, you know what, I'm just going for a swivel set. That's all I'm doing. I'm just getting a 5-minute run, a practice set in, and I'm going to do my best. Who cares what other people are doing? Who cares what the judges think? Who cares what the other competitors are doing? Do it for yourself. Just set a goal for that morning, and you know, your goal is, I want to have a dry run in this competition. I went like a 3-year streak of falling every single competition. You wake up in the morning, you know what? What are my goals for this competition? Everyone's goal is we all want to win, we all want to do well, but get smaller, get deeper. I want to make sure my toes are pointed in every single trick I do, or I want to make sure my leg is more straight, or I want to just have a dry run. This one trick that I'm a little nervous about, I just want to make sure that I feel solid in that when I'm done with it. And that just goes along also to what tricks to put into your competition. I'm someone who I will only put a trick into my competition if I am 90% on it. Because the swivel competition comes with your nerves and your adrenaline and all that stuff. It's going to bump down to 80% success rate, because just all of that adrenaline and nerves and going through your bones, you may not be as confident in it because of your nerves. I want to make sure I do things that I'm fully confident in. When it comes to like what tricks I'm going to do, when, and like what pass, I like to make my first pass my confidence pass. So I know in under any circumstances, those are the tricks that I'm going to make. That if I'm nervous, my adrenaline's going, I'm sore or tired or whatever, that first pass, I'm going to get through in confidence. And so that when I get to that first corner, I'm like, okay, I did it. We're good. Went through the first pass. All right. You know, adrenaline's calming down, your heartbeat's slowing down a little bit, and then you can move on to that next pass with more confidence. I like to put my harder tricks in the beginning of my routine. So like my first, second, third pass are where my harder tricks are going to be, because that's when I'm going to be strongest. I don't know about you guys, but when I do a swivel comp, just the 5 minutes and 4 passes, I am so out of breath and exhausted afterward as if I just ran a marathon. I don't know why, because I'll go out and practice for like 30 minutes to an hour and be fine, but once I'm done with the swivel competition, it's as if it's the end of the world. I'm dying because I'm just so tired. I used to put my harder tricks at the end of my routine so that I can make sure I have a dry run beforehand. But usually by the time I get to that hard trick, I'm so tired that I end up not even making it, even though I have the confidence from doing a dry run beforehand. So I like to just get it done and over with pretty much. Your adrenaline's gonna help with that strength to do it. So work with it, you know, work with that adrenaline that you have. If you get the harder tricks done earlier, then the rest of your routine, you're like, all right, well, these are the tricks I already know that I can do, so it's a breeze from now, right? Most of all, you just want to be confident in the tricks that you're doing. You know, I'd rather put tricks in that are lower scores than trying to risk falling in a higher score trick, because I'd rather have a clean run. I just want to go out and be as clean as possible. I don't want to be sketchy on any tricks or iffy. I'd rather just go out and just be super confident in what I did, rather than go out and do it and then almost fall on a couple tricks and feel bad about it. Also, back with the scoring, you know, if you go and do a higher scoring trick but you bobble really hard on it or something, you're not going to get the full points for that trick anyway. So I'd rather, you know, do a solid level 7 trick than go for a level 9 and either risk falling and losing a full point, or bobbling really hard and them scoring me only a 7 or 8 anyway. So I'd rather just be super clean and build that artistic up than to risk doing a higher level trick. I mean, we all want to do the higher level tricks, we all want to show that we can spin around as many times as we can, but sometimes in the end, being cleaner is the better way to go. If you have any questions or anything, you can always message me on my Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat, or if you have my phone number, text me. Always open ears, and we'll help you out with anything you need if anything you need. So I hope that some of these tips and tricks work for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if these tips and tricks worked, and let me know if they didn't, because I really want to know what works for everyone, and also what has worked for you. Maybe that can help me out. Maybe I can relay the message out to other people that can help them out, because everyone's different. You know, disclaimer that this whole video is not the standard. This is not what you should do. This is not what you're supposed to do. This is our opinions that have worked for me and for other people. I don't want you to think that you have to do what I just said. These are just, you know, some helpful ideas. Moral of the story, if you have any questions, ask me. If not, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if this has worked for you. And if not,